Reverend Marrice Coverson. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Mother's Day to those of you who are mothers, and happy Mother's Day to those of you who have mothers. Now, everybody have mothers, so you should say that. I was just going to catch you off guard. I was going to ask everybody hold up the hand who have a mother and see what. Okay. So we just say happy Mother's Day to all of those mothers, and in the spirit world, we say happy Mother's Day to those in the spirit world, and we say happy Mother's Day to those who are on this earth plane, because those in the spirit world is working just as hard for you as those are working on this earth plane. They're probably working harder because they see some things that those on the earth plane don't see, and they're able to intervene in a different manner than those on this earth plane can. So we had been talking about last Sunday about the table and all the legs on the table. So I was supposed to continue this day, but the other four legs on the table, that would make 8 legs on the table. But I'm going to deviate this morning a bit because it's Mother's Day. And I'm going to talk about that great resource that humankind have had since the beginning of this earth, the mother. That is the greatest resource, is the mother. Most of us don't know that, but mothers are the greatest resource. And there's the greatest person in looking how to be resourceful. You know, mothers have been able to be resourceful when no one else has been able to be resourceful in learning how to feed their kids, house the kids, and put clothing on the kids. They have been resourceful. Now, you know, some of us, I have had some people that come in this church and say, don't talk to me about my mother. She's in the earth, she's the spirit world, I don't want to talk to her, I don't want to see her, she's dead to me. And then I've had someone on the earth plane say their mother was dead to them, you know, and the mother's on the earth plane. So that really, you know, gets me to thinking sadly, because I feel like when we don't understand that mother's role and how mothers work, then sometimes we get off balance in terms of how we feel about mothers. You know, I'll tell you a story that help you to understand what I'm thinking of. When I was 10 years old, my mother made her transition into spirit. Well, she was going to the hospital, and I'm sure she was ill, and she didn't know that she was going to the hospital. And I'm sure she was afraid, but I didn't know. I was 10 years old. I didn't know she was afraid, probably. And so I noticed that my mother didn't say she loved me, and I didn't get to say I loved her before she left. Then what happened, a man came to me, a friend of the family's, and he came to me and said, come and let me take you for a ride. He said, your mother is dead. And I always, to that point on, I just like thought about, I never got to say I love you. And she never told me she loved me. And I never, because I'm a child, I never connected the fear that she might have been going through by going to the hospital, that she had a son that was 1 year old, going to be 1, which was my brother, and she wanted me to take care of him. And so her thought was on how to get him through and how to get me through. So she probably never thought about to say she loved us. And so I went through years of thinking that I never got to say I loved her before she made that transition. Nor did she say she loved me. And I went through years wondering if she really loved me, if she loved me. And so as I get older and I've gotten into spiritualism and I understand the relationship of a mother to a child, and understand the role of a mother, and understand that people go through things, and that even in the spirit world, a mother changes, even if there's division between a child and a mother. Like some of the people come on this earth plane now, they've grown and they said, I don't love my mother and I don't want to talk to my mother. That mother can change in the spirit world. That division that they might have had with their mother. The mother that is more powerful than the spirit world, is a powerful land. That land is more powerful than any land that can be. It's more powerful than America or Russia or any land that one would want to be in. It's more powerful. It has all the energies of love and peace. It has all the energies, and no one can change those energies. Human beings, when they hit that world, they can't change those energies. What they do is flow into those energies, and they change, and they become different. And so what happens is we have to learn that they can become different. Even if there was some strife with our parents when we were on this earth plane, they become different because they understand that they grow in that world. They go to school over there, and so they learn over there. They learn differently. They become different people. So I now understand that my mother was so inundated with her journey that she didn't look to see my journey until she got to that other side of that world. And when she got over there, she understood our journey, and she opened the door all the way. I tell you a story. We didn't have money to buy a car. I'd never driven a car when I took driver's education. I took driver's education, and the driver's ed person said, "You'll make a preacher cuss backing up." And so I could never back up. And so by the time I got to the driver's ed, and so then one night, he told me that the day, the next night, I dreamt, my mother was with me, I dreamed, she taught me how to back up. I went there, he was so amazed. He thought, that's not me backing up like that. Now, I think I backed up when I took my license good, but I've never backed up good since. So I'm afraid to go look for license now. I just say, probably when these licenses up, I might forget it. But Spirit helped me do that. My mother was there all the way to help me. She knew we didn't have a car. She knew that I had not that training. She knew that I needed, so I was like amazed myself that I backed up so straight. And now I pull up, I pull back, I pull up, pull back. 15 minutes to back in a space. Spirit is so capable of helping us, and our mothers are so capable of helping us from the spirit side of life. Those mothers who are on this earth side of life that we may have divisions with, those mothers are great as well. They just sometimes still are inundated with this earthly world. And when mothers are inundated with this earthly world, they sometimes don't understand. And they are inundated with what their mothers left them on this earthly world. So we are product of our past history and what we learned from our family and all those people. So they just know what was left them. That sometimes the strife, sometimes that ill feelings that was left to them. So what happens is that then they sometimes leave it to us. Mothers who abuse have been abused, sometimes abused. So we have to see if we've been abused. We don't stay in abuse with our mothers, but we do know that have to understand that mother had to have been abused, because where did that mother learn that behavior? Where did that mother learn that language from? Where did that mother learn that hitting from? Where did that mother learn all that negativity from? She had to learn it from somewhere. And so what we do is we love that mother with all our love and know that what happens with that mother is not that mother was born with that behavior. That mother got that behavior once she hit this earth plane, and once someone drilled that type of behavior into her lives. The greatest gift that human beings could have been given is a mother. Amen. A mother is resourceful. A mother will put food in your mouth and go to bed hungry. A mother will put clothes on your back and recycle her own dress 2 or 3 years or more. That's a mother. Now, we have young mothers who don't understand a lot these days. Our young mothers have gone through a lot, and they hit this world with the negativity and anger and profanity and all those things that bombards them. And so they inhale it. And so when you inhale something, what do? You blow it out. So they inhale this and they blow it out to the community, and they blow it out to their children. So some of us look at some people and say, oh, these are the worst parents as it is, that they're blowing out the negativity to the children that they have inhaled from the universe, from this universe from which we live. You know, they have inhaled it. They didn't grow up like that. We have population that didn't grow up like that. We have population of parents who now that we cannot understand how they get where they are and what they're doing. But we know that they are good souls, but we don't know how to get to that soul. That's what it is. It's how do you get to that soul and nourish that soul so that soul can understand they're important. That's what we need to do to our young mothers who are having problems, or our mothers who are having problems. Get to that parent and set that young mother say, and nourish that young mother. Even when they don't want to be nourished, we have to nourish that young mother and let them know that they are the best in the world. They're the best of the best. They just have not tapped into that goodness inside of them. You know, we all have the capability to be the best we can be. We all have that capability. So those of you who are young mothers now who are struggling, who have some division with your kids, or have some little kids that's running you crazy, know that change comes, and this is kids' action. And know that those young people who may be taking us through this for young mothers, that they are just seeing and spitting out what the universe has brought to them, and they're giving back to the universe what the universe brought to them. And you know what? We have to change all that. We have the possibility to change in this universe. We have the possibility of changing this and having something new. And you might not know that, but you do it. Isn't it wonderful that to know that this religion teaches us that through our thoughts and our actions, we can change our environments. So we can change our environment. We start with our environment, and then we reach out to the environment of everyone else that we know. And we pray through prayer and blessings. So Mother's Day is a great day. There's a great woman. Every seat I see in here, there's a great woman behind every person in here. There's a great woman. You may not have experienced her yet, but she's a great woman. She may not have known that she was a great woman before she left this earth plane, but she's a great woman. So everyone in here has a great woman behind her. And I say to you today that every woman in here has a possibility of being the greatest woman that they can be. If you haven't met your greatness in you, then you can meet it. Just go inside of you and meet your greatness. All of you are great in here. And those of you who have not reached that womanhood of being great yet, you can be great. You know, the greatest gift you can give yourself is being everything that you can be. You could be the stars, and you could be the moon, and you could be anything that you want to be. And that's the greatest thing, the greatest gift, because the stars and the moon have great energy and activity that helps in this universe. And so you could be have that energy and show that greatness and help out that much. So I say to you, I'm not going to keep you long, because some of you are probably going to dinner and be in crowds of people and trying to sit in those seats and things for dinner. But anyway, that's the fun of Mother's Day. It's pushing through the crowd and sitting in the seat 20 minutes or an hour before you get to your seat. That's the fun of it. So think about when you go there and you got to sit there and think about, this is the fun of Mother's Day. I'm just going to sit here. But I'm going to go home and lay in my bed and look at Bridgerton, the rest of Bridgerton. So I say to you, have a good day, all of you. And for you males, I'm not just talking to the women, because you all have great women behind you too. You all do have great women behind you. And some women, who have wives and females in your lives, you have great women in your lives. So don't forget that. Always remember that. And those mothers that have gone over to the spirit world, you have great women. David, you have one of the greatest women you ever known in your life. And she's in the spirit world and she's still doing her greatness. Isn't that wonderful? So, everyone in here, you have a great woman. Men, women, or children, you have a great woman in your lives. And I say to you, you are really blessed. You are really blessed. Know it and utilize it in your lives daily. Call upon those mothers in the spirit world and bless those mothers on the earth plane. And I leave you with that. And as I leave with that, and all those online, I say to you as well, Happy Mother's Day as well. And you too, I hope you take this sermon into your account. I know that you are blessed as well.